Hi guys, and welcome to your Saturday night's main event review on the wrestling review and you as of recording, this is a late review. This is Monday afternoon, but I'm going to give a short review of the show. This show wasn't really very good. And in terms of content and she's very slow pace for the most of it, very tag match heavy and just very boring but but just the art is off guys. We start with the six women tag team match. Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss up against um up against Jake Cargill, LB, Fab and me, Chin, and I have to actually say I was expecting an Alexa Bliss heel turn to kind of abandon the as a very sort of um a very sort of dragged out storyline with Charlotte Flair. Um, so the three faces were but I are in the build up to this match, and it led me to believe maybe there's a heel turn coming here from Alexa Babella as she's tried to be the the main voice that he's in between the playing for here. Some okay offense from both teams here. But Cargill wins with Cargill gets the pin. She pins Rhea up way in the middle of the ring. It does actually give a spoiler for Clash in Italy, as I think Rhea up below the 10 here. Jake Cargill gets a um, Clash in Italy, sorry. Jake Cargill gets a pin here. It serves its purpose. There was some good offense by me, Chan, who really does deserve better. She should be in the women's US title scene, being a challenger for Tiffany Stratton, but she's tied to Jake Argill and B-Fab at the moment. Beef have has B-Fab is very limited in what she can do in the ring. She's talented musically, and she can cut a decent promo. But those promo opportunities have been few and far between in the main roster for her. Though I don't really, I don't really think the in the ring stuff suits her naturally, and I know I'm gonna get heat for all that by various people when the IWC. Cargill's victory was predictable, heading into Clash and away next week, but I was expecting I was expecting Alexa Bliss to turn heel as to spice things up, but to no avail. Then we get a promo, and then we get an interview, sorry, conducted by Kathy Kelly asking Ethan Page if he's confident heading in his match with Penta later on in the night. Page actually responds very, he says it's the most important match of his career. He says it's the most important match in the history of the Intercontinental Championship. We do get a response from Penta saying that he'll fight for the us title, that he'll fight for the Intercontinental Championship. But he'll fight for the honor of the IC title that he currently holds. Then we get Becky Lynch cutting a short short promo after Asuka makes her entry inside to the ring. Um, she says to so welcome to the big time. Um, Soul's promo before she heads out is he doesn't snatch she doesn't steal the spotlight, right? She snatches it. This match is pretty cool. Uh, um, Soul gets most of the offense and she's very athletic. She she attempts the soul snatcher, but Inch actually he shoves Jessica a car in the way of it. Um, Soul ends up hitting Close Archer onto car. Car gets taken out and calls for the disqualification. Becky Lynch's disqualified backstage later on. Nico Aldis says he spoke to his good friend Adam Pearce, who's the GM of Raw, and he instructed me to tell you, kid, that you're defending the women's IC belt at Clash in Italy. I'd have preferred Soul to get the victory. Here it's a non-title match up. It just makes it kind of fluky, and she's basically lost our first two matches. She was in there with women's world champion Liv Morgan. Um, that was a defeat. She was then she was in with Io defeated her, and now you get this disqualification win. She's yet to get a win by pinfall. I'm not really liking the way she's handled this. I think it's very disrespectful, as Soroka is probably one of the most talented women in the Raw roster. So yeah, so yeah, I'm not too happy with the way she's been, uh, um, the way she's been handled. The irresistible forces Nia Jax and Lashley. Adrian speak to Kathy Kelly backstage. We didn't actually see any visuals of that because massive there was a massive outage in the visuals. All we got was a green haze, which was awful. That irresistible forces say that they're going to end the fairy tale cover arc of Paige and Brie Bella, and they're going to win the tag titles because they're younger are more hungry than these children, but then get the response from Agent Brebe, where they say that they are the underdogs. They're older, but they'll pull out the victory. So, yeah, again, guys, again, guys, the Jackson Way agent promo would have been better if there was visuals at that point in the show, but that was a bit jarring because there wasn't. Um, so then we get to then we get, then we get to Penta and Ethan Page. Ethan Page has an awful remix of his theme song. The new remix is awful. They should have just kept his NXT theme. This was the best match of the show by quite a distance. Um, Page actually he gets a good amount of offense and very physical match here. And Page hits a confidence, but he can hits his usual offense, but Penta kicks out. Penta then hits a springboard spike DDT midway through the match. Near fall, Page takes back control or rips off the a turnbuckle. Penta maneuver them into then hits Mexican destroyer to pick up the win. Best match of the best match of the show, and Penta retains. Um, I'd like to have seen Ethan probably get the win here as he's a new NXT go all up, and it would cement him on the main roster. But on the other hand, I like Penta's Penta's over with the crowd. So yeah, but that was just his personal preference. So pretty good match up here. Penta and we'll probably get the Rusev Penta match at Clash in Italy. Then we get Paige and Brie Bella up against Nia Jax and Lashley Edge. Um, so yeah, this team of Paige and Brie Bella were kinda thrown together last minute as you guys know, as Nikki Bella wasn't medically cleared in time for the women's tag team title match fatal four way. Um, so Paige stepped in and that was her return basically. Um, so yeah, Jackson Legend had most of the offense here, but the champs were able to retain by Nia Jax rolling and not uh no but I Page rolling and up Nia Jax horny with a roll up aided but I Brie Bella on the outside again a roll up finish and you're like whoop to do. I'd have preferred I'd have preferred Rock Sanpere as and Raquel Rodriguez, but they did to that match on Raw all against Paige and Hurry. I'd have preferred that if that match was on Saturday night's main event. I'm not a big fan of Nia Jax, as you know, and Buddy Bell is kinda like, and the Buddy mode theme song is like eerie, basically. It's like nails on a chalkboard. Um, the only two I like in this match was Lashley, Agent and Page. Lashley, Agent again should be a challenging Tiffany Stratton for the US title rather being anchored down by Nia Jax. Page should be in contention for the Page should be in contention like for her Liv Morgan's world title. That would be a match I'd enjoy seeing. Um, because um because I think Liv needs a new challenger. Same with Rhea Ripley. I think JC Jane should be going against her, but instead of doing the Jade Cargill match again for Clash in Italy. See, I do like a lot of the roster guys, but they're not given the correct tools or creative on the main roster to actually flourish, and this match was just okay. I'd have preferred if Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez were going up against Paige and Brie Ella. I'd have put the titles on. I'd have put the titles on or auction like if they did that, but no, they decided to bowl all the match off on the Raw and give all Agent and Jax a shot. Even though I like Agent, I'd rather see her on a singles or on rather than in this irresistible forces tag team of Nia Jax, but you can't have ice things anymore. Um, in today's society. So then you get, so then you have the vision up against the street profits for the World Tag Team Championship. Um, so the World Tag Team Championships are Raw's Tag Team belts, and again, this is a problem with this show. You've now had three, um, you've now had three tag team matches on this show. Now, granted, the opener was a in tag, but at the same time, you've had two traditional um you've had two traditional tag team matches with two of the three tag belts on the line. It's a bit overkill. Anyway, the street profits have a good amount of offense here, and I was hoping the profits would take the belts off Logan Paul and Austin Theory. Now, I do like Austin Theory, I have to admit, but Logan Paul, he should be nowhere near the one, but I don't like celebrity involvement in my matches, and I don't care how athletically gifted the guy is. It just undercuts the roster, in my opinion. There's people in NXT that have busted their arse for years. Look at Tony D'Angelo, for example. He's still in NXT right now, which is WWE's developmental, if you don't know, and if you're new to the channel, like my mate Honor, who's recently subscribed to the channel. Big Hips fan, shout out to Honor. But yeah, like I said, that's kind of disrespectful to inspire and main roster members that are on the cusp here of trying to move up. But yeah, so yeah, Montez Vortex a frog spill ash at the end of the match, and you're thinking, alright, he's going to win the tag titles. Dawkins on the outside hits hits a somersault pull on Jack, and you're thinking, right, is going to be a win. Heyman, though, gets involved. He puts um the three Eries foot on the bottom rope. Logan Paul was on the outside. He reaches for the brass knucks and Albert for one, and then then Erie saw others into the cover. The vision retain, and the but on Breaker and the interval all this as well. Here's Angelo Hawkins. So all three members of the Vision. So once the Eerie picks up the victory for the Vision, but but Aker just annihilates the Street Profits. He raises a hand to his two fellow members of the Vision, Heyman, um, Heyman, Heyman smirks as usual. Love Paul Heyman, I like Braun Break, and I like the Eerie. I just don't like Logan Paul, um, but that is how the event finishes. And I have to actually say, guys, if it wasn't for some of the offense in the opener, and obviously Ethan Page and Penta have been a banger, this would probably be a lower score than what I'm gonna give it. So again, guys, I'm only go another 4 out of 10. Not real, not really anything to write home about, and like this is actually breaking me because gave um I gave him or a 4 out of 10, and I'm giving this a 4 out of 10. The only saving grace at the minute for WWE is NXT at the minute. You do have the fatal influence stuff on SmackDown that's decent, but like I wish they'd had JC Jane challenge challenge Rhea Ripley for the WWE Women's Championship, and equally you could um and equally you could have Liv Morgan go against Paige, but she's tied to Brie Bella at the and it's just my god, guys. I mean, it's not hard to it's not hard to have um, it's not hard to have a decent show. I've actually suggested a couple of tweaks they could maybe do for like title matches, but yeah, this was actually just for the sake of giving peak or not peak or can NBC some content now that the US deals kinda migrated over to ESPN for paper views, and again like the feed the visual feed actually is cutting out during the Nia Jax Ashley agent promo was a bit bullshit considering they've got all this money from ESPN, the Netflix deal over here, and yeah, so there should be no excuse for that. And obviously, too many tag matches as well. Um, and yeah, I just didn't think that this was a great show. Hopefully, we get something a bit more or substantial from Raw, but yeah, overall, guys, this show was pretty dull as the show author. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Oh, no matter what, oh, guys, good or bad, people will continue to review um, we'll continue to review the shows and content. But as I've said, guys, I'm getting a bit disappointed. I'm not disheartened because as I still enjoy doing the reviews and coming on here and telling you my thoughts, but this should be so much better. You've got a decent roster, so maybe change things up pretty soon, guys. But yeah, um, overall, not very good. 4 out of 10. But let me know your thoughts in the comments section, and I'll see you for tomorrow. Like, share, subscribe, turn on notifications by hitting the bell icon next to the subscribe button and comment down below. Oh, and thanks for the support. And as Sean said, my co-host, glutton. I'm a glutton for punishment, and to an extent, I do see where you're coming from. You've tapped out of the um product, but it's not. It's not really in me. It's not really in me to wo it because I'm still enjoying doing. I'm still enjoying doing these videos. I mean, an NXE is still really good. How come they develop me into show for guys and girls on the NXT or is better booked than the main roster. Um, and this is off the back of WWE bringing back house um, shows because TKO are coming under fire. Um, obviously, as the ticket prices, but I've taken up enough of your time, guys. So, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you all very soon.